Mentioned in the Surangama Sutra, Sakyamuni Buddha told Purna, Purna, such is the threefold inverted continuity. It is luminous awareness, the knowing nature of illumination. From knowing, appearances arise, born of false perception. Mountains, rivers, and the great earth, and all conditioned forms change and flow in succession. Thus this empty delusion revolve, they end and begin again. Sakyamuni Buddha told Purna, it is due to this threefold inverted continuity that the Saha world have these sentient beings. There are all kinds of habitual tendencies. And these three kinds of habitual tendencies are killing, stealing, and sexual desire. Because you have this threefold inverted continuity, but it is also originally the luminous awareness of the Tathagata. However, because there is a deluded thought and false perception appearing, thus the mountains, rivers, great earth, and all phenomena appear. So there are sentient beings, greed, anger, and delusion, killing, stealing, and sexual desire. They all cycle mutually. And that's how the empty, deluded world revolve, ending and arising again and again. That's what he said. Purna said, if this wondrous awareness is originally wondrous and luminous, it is the Tathagata's mind that neither increases nor decreases. How do mountains, rivers, the great earth, and all conditioned phenomena suddenly arise without form? Now that the Tathagata has attained wondrously empty and luminous awareness, how could the conditioned habits and outflows such as mountains, rivers, and the great earth ever arise again? So Purna told Sakyamuni Buddha, if Sakyamuni Buddha, the Tathagata, has the wondrous luminous true mind, and know that it is the mind that neither increases nor decreases, how come suddenly mountains, rivers, and the great earth and all the conditioned phenomena suddenly arise? The Tathagata has attained the wondrously empty and luminous awareness. How could they arise again? That's what Purna asked Sakyamuni Buddha. The Buddha told Purna, suppose a confused person in a certain village mistakes south for north. Does this confusion arise because of confusion itself, or does it come from awakening? Purna said, such a confused person is not confused because of confusion, nor because of awakening. Why is this so? Confusion originally has no root. How could it arise from confusion? Awakening does not give rise to confusion. How could it arise from awakening? Let me stop here. This is what I just told you. Sakyamuni Buddha told Purna, just like a person in a certain village getting lost and mistakes the south for the north and the north for the south, the east to be the west and the west to be the east. He did not have a compass. My first time I went to Hong Kong, I stayed at a hotel and I was all by myself. I wanted to just stroll, but after a few blocks I got lost. What does it mean to be lost? That I did not know how to get back to my hotel. The roads all look similar. I turned around and it also didn't look like it. And no matter how I continued, I could not return to my hotel. So that's getting lost or confused. It's not that you have it all along, it just happened suddenly. First time I went to Hong Kong, I stayed at the hotel and I thought, Oh, I wanted to get out and walk around. So I walked for a couple of blocks and then I forgot. Where was that hotel? And then I got lost. Because you've never walked on any of the roads there. So you don't get confused because you want to, is that you become disoriented by themselves. When I did the surveying from Wufeng Hills, I can walk all the way to Dakeng. So I walk all by myself. After passing 2 mountains, I discovered they're all the same mountains all around. Then I got lost and disoriented. It's not that you wanted to get lost, but you got lost. So the Buddha said to Purna, suppose a confused person in a certain village mistakes south for north. Does this confusion arise because of confusion itself? Or do you have enlightenment coming from the confusion? And Purna said, it's not because of confusion and not because of an awakening. It just happens by itself. I knew that from the mountain in Wufeng, I could walk all the way to Dakeng, but how could I get lost after passing 2 mountains? And I wanted to turn around. Oh no, they're all a group of mountains in the front, at the back, to my left, to my right. I've forgotten the road I came from. That's called confusion or disorientation or at a loss. You need someone to guide you. So, is this lost person wise or foolish? This confusion does not come from confusion nor from enlightenment. Confusion has no root. So confusion does not give rise to enlightenment. Enlightenment does not give rise to confusion. So this is talking about what I told you. Some people, when they are in confusion, they don't know that that is actually a confused state. Just like us spiritual cultivators. I think this is right. I believe this is right, but actually it's not. It has no root. So Purna said, such a confused person does not know that he is confused. And of course that's not because of confusion. Why? Because confusion has no root. How could it arise from confusion? Awakening does not give rise to confusion, so how could it arise from awakening? The same principle. That's why you need someone to guide you. Like in my illness, I need someone to guide me. That Asura woman said, so you think all that you have done in this lifetime was all correct? She was trying to point or to hint at you, to awaken you. So that's the rootless confusion. You have walked down the wrong path. Sakyamuni Buddha said, while the confused person is in the midst of confusion, if someone is confused and then suddenly someone points out the way, someone who's enlightened points it out and enables him to understand, Purna, what do you think? If someone is confused and lost, disoriented in this village, and someone pointed it out to him and enabled him to understand, would he still be confused? No, good honored one. Sakyamuni Buddha said, the Tathagatas of the 10 directions are likewise. The confusion is rootless, has no basis. So you don't get confused because of confusion. Therefore, confusion itself is ultimately empty. Originally, there was no confusion, but an illusory appearance of confused awareness appears. When suddenly you awaken, the confusion disappears. Awakening does not give rise to confusion. Once you are enlightened, you will not be lost again. Someone wanted to bring you to your senses, like this Asura woman. You think all that you have done is right? That statement awakened me. All the things I did, reflecting upon them, some were not right. So we should repent for the wrongdoings we did and start all over again to return to the original path. How to repair yourself. So my karmic illness this time gave me a very strong inspiration or insight. In my dream, luckily, there was this Asura woman who told me, you think that all you did in this lifetime was all right? Reflecting back, there are some parts that were not quite right. In this world, all about reasoning, your mindset, if it's not right, it's just all about this principle. And that's the principle for morality. So what you say, is it reasonable? And the other is, it's based on the earlier patriarchs or sages. You base it according to what the past patriarchs or sages said. If you go against the principles or the words of the past sages, then you're wrong. As a writer, sometimes it's unavoidable that the words are slightly off. If the principle is not upright and it's not completely based on the teachings, the principles passed down by the ancient sages. Therefore, you cannot deviate even the slightest. Because with that slight deviation, you will walk toward the realm of the Asuras. You would get off track. Because those who are disoriented, they don't even know that they have lost their own ways. They need guidance from others. When I was climbing the mountain of Wufeng, after passing 2 mountains, after climbing 2 mountains, I got lost. And then I walked down the mountain and I encountered a farmer seated under the tree, and I asked him, how did I go to the, like a town hall, province hall? And he said, just follow grasses or the reeds, and then there would be a small path, and then it would reach a bigger road, and it would be the bigger road. So I walk past those reeds, and sure enough, there's a small path, and I followed that path, and I looked back to look at the person under the tree. There was no one there. Just a tree, but no farmer. The whole mountain and wilderness with no person inside, nobody under the tree. From that small path, we just rarely tread it on, I walked to a smaller road, the larger road that led me to the province hall. She asked me one question. You thought that all you did was right? Of course, there's some right, some are not. I have to reflect upon myself. I was introspective upon myself, and I hope that all the disciples will do that too. Because in the Asura realm, I also saw two Buddha school masters and disciples there. All the same here in the Asura realm. I saw them. So this past few days, I kept telling Golden Mother, I'm sorry. And I told Amitabha Buddha, I'm sorry. So, all of you, according to the principle and the words of the ancient sages, all that you have done, comply with the principle and the words of the ancient sages. Everyone should repent by yourself. Reflect and repent. Om Mani Padme Hum.